Bruce Willis, I'm so happy to see you. Gosh, the last time I saw your face, I was shopping for movies at the gas station.
The explosive and iconic chemistry between Cybill Shepherd and Bruce Willis in Moonlighting was, without a doubt, one of the most memorable aspects of the 1980s television hit. However, behind the scenes, their tumultuous relationship was anything but smooth.
Bruce Willis and Cybill Shepherd won for Best Actor and Actress in a TV Comedy for ABC's Moonlighting and put to rest rumors about trouble on the set.
Let me answer that question right now, pal. There's no trouble in the set. There is no trouble in the set.
For many fans, the on-screen chemistry between the two made Moonlighting a must-watch. But behind the camera, things were much more complicated. Their real-life feud, which spanned decades, was rooted in a series of personal and professional clashes. And Cybill Shepherd has opened up about why working with Bruce Willis became unbearable. When Cybill Shepherd and Bruce Willis first met, it was clear that they had a unique, undeniable chemistry. Shepherd, a seasoned actress with a well-established career, was initially hesitant about Willis, a relative unknown at the time. However, during the casting process for Moonlighting, Shepherd felt a spark that would define their on-screen partnership. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Shepherd shared, "No one else was ever considered for the part. When he walked in the room, my temperature went up 10 degrees. At the time, Cybill recognized the natural chemistry they shared, but quickly added that she would never act on her attraction. She knew that working together would be a challenge because they were both drawn to each other. She admitted in later interviews that their relationship quickly became complex due to their growing frustrations with each other. As the series progressed, their off-screen relationship deteriorated. While the show's success skyrocketed and the two became iconic TV characters, the bond between Shepherd and Willis became strained. At first, the tension between them was manageable, but as Moonlighting became a runaway success, the egos involved began to clash. By the time season 2 rolled around, both actors were becoming more difficult to work with, and it was evident to everyone on set that their personal issues were spilling into their professional lives.
So we came close, but we didn't do it, so.
And in the book, you talk about how you and Bruce would actually sometimes fight before the scenes that you fought.
Yes, we had fights all the time. And that was part of the preparation, was that working up to it, you know, so it was real.
Willis was described as a partier and swinger by Moonlighting co-star Curtis Armstrong, who revealed the often chaotic behind-the-scenes environment. He noted that the actor would show up to set hungover, having spent the previous night in a club. Shepherd, on the other hand, was known for her diva-like demands, often throwing tantrums when things didn't go her way. Armstrong recalled one moment when Shepherd allegedly threatened to quit unless the show's creator, Glenn Caron, was fired, and incredibly, she got her way. Caron was let go, and it only added fuel to the fire between Shepherd and Willis, who was becoming frustrated with the behind-the-scenes drama. While the relationship between the two co-stars had already begun to sour due to their personalities, rumors about an affair added a layer of complication to their already volatile relationship. It is widely speculated that Shepherd and Willis had a brief fling during the early days of Moonlighting, something that would not have been unusual considering the undeniable chemistry they shared. However, neither of them ever confirmed or denied the rumors, though Willis did hint at the relationship in his conversations with co-stars.
Really fighting, see? What? Is it?
It's love-hate.
We like each other, yeah. It's just, she just never listens to what I say.
Well, I find what you say obnoxious as a character.
Obnoxious?
Yes, as a character, as a person, he's great.
It's charming.
Yeah, but you're such a sexist on the show that I can't stand for that. I mean, I'm a modern, liberated feminist.
You're just as much of a sexist as I am.
Armstrong, in his book Revenge of the Nerd, referenced this rumored affair, saying, "Bruce intimated to me that there had been one disastrously ill-conceived thing between him and Cybill early on in the show's run." Although neither actor ever publicly addressed the affair, the fallout from such a situation was enough to ignite a serious divide. The brief romance seemed to have turned into an unresolved, emotionally charged situation, leading to the friction between the two escalating. By the time the show reached its final season in 1989, their relationship had completely broken down.
How's Cybill? Do you ever see Cybill? Will you ever maybe... I saw on TV last night. She was on a rerun. I did. I saw she was on a rerun of Johnny Carson. And still talking about Moonlighting.
Reports from the set described an environment where Shepard and Willis were barely able to tolerate each other, and the filming of certain scenes became increasingly difficult. Armstrong described how the two stars had to be kept apart, with the crew going so far as to measure the distance between their trailer doors to ensure that neither of them had to walk even a foot farther than the other. It was also said that they couldn't even look each other in the eye during some of their most intense scenes, prompting the editors to artificially slow down the footage to make it seem like they were gazing at each other. The tension was palpable, and it became clear that the once promising partnership had turned into a source of constant stress. One particularly infamous incident took place during a heated scene where the two actors clashed so violently that Shepard flung a briefcase against the door, shaking the entire set. It was a clear sign of just how bad things had gotten between them. The drama on set was not only hurting their professional relationship, but also creating an unhealthy working environment for the entire crew. When Moonlighting ended, so did the direct relationship between Shepard and Willis. For years, the two stars did not speak to each other, and their feud became a well-known part of Hollywood history. Shepard, in interviews following the show's end, confirmed that things had become unbearable during the final years. In 2005, she admitted, "I remember at one point in the show, it had gotten to where we just hated each other." Despite this, Willis and Shepard continued to be asked about each other in interviews. However, both actors remained tight-lipped about their tumultuous relationship. It wasn't until years later that they would begin to acknowledge their past, albeit with some distance. In 2018, during Willis Comedy Central Roast, Shepard made light of their strained relationship, joking, "Our characters on Moonlighting weren't much of a stretch. I played a former model, which I was, and he played an a-hole, which he is."
Sure, our relationship was volatile and sometimes explosive, but in the end, it was the perfect formula for success. I know we haven't had a conversation in 30 years, but we'll always have something more important: residuals.
The crowd responded with laughter, and it seemed like the years of tension had finally softened into something more humorous, though still charged with underlying bitterness. In 2022, after Bruce Willis's diagnosis with aphasia, a condition affecting his ability to communicate, Shepard took the opportunity to reflect on their past. While speaking to Extra, Shepard spoke with compassion, acknowledging that while they had their issues, she still cared for him. "I just have to say one thing about Bruce," Shepard said. "I will always love Bruce." Her comments revealed that despite the years of animosity, she had not lost the affection she had once felt for her co-star. Shepard also shared a personal anecdote, admitting that when Willis walked into the room for his Moonlighting audition, the temperature in the room went 20 degrees higher. She further clarified, "That meant two things to me. One, I was very attracted to him. Two, I would never act on it because we were both very attracted to each other." The warmth in Shepard's words was a far cry from the bitterness that had defined their relationship in the past. And it seemed that in light of Willis's health struggles, she was willing to let go of the past and extend a sense of peace. The long-running feud between Cybill Shepherd and Bruce Willis serves as a reminder that Hollywood relationships, both on screen and off, are far from glamorous. While Moonlighting was an iconic show, the real drama behind the scenes was a tempestuous mix of personal and professional issues that ultimately fractured their bond. Today, their story is one of both chemistry and conflict, a symbol of how stardom, egos, and misunderstandings can complicate even the most promising partnerships. As Willis now steps away from the spotlight to focus on his health, it is clear that time and distance have softened the harsh edges of their feud. However, their shared history on Moonlighting remains an indelible part of television history, a bittersweet testament to two stars who once shone together, but whose paths eventually diverged. We'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Let us know in the comment sections and see you on the next one.